I'm nearing the end of my 2 weeks of quarantine, and although it's not something I would have chosen to do or even ever thought I would be doing, it's gone quite quickly. Could have been a lot worse, and in fact has been very good for me in many ways. So I thought it would be useful to look back on the last 2 weeks and highlight some of the things that I have thought about, done, and the process that I've been through. When I arrived, I was exhausted, physically and emotionally. Physically from the traveling, emotionally from the effect of this big move, change to my life, as well as the few months leading up to it, perhaps even the years leading up to it. I don't really remember those first few days very clearly because I was so tired. I didn't sleep very well, not just from the jet lag, but because I think my head was so full and my heart was heavy. So many emotions came up. The excitement of being in a new place, although it wasn't really a new place, it felt like coming home in many respects. But also the sadness of leaving so much behind. I won't go into the details of that because the tears still come. I cried a lot in those first few days as I processed what it meant to start a whole new life, especially at this age where I didn't expect to be doing this. In those first few days, I know I watched a lot of movies. Video calls to family and friends were a lifesaver. They helped me stay connected and realize that although I was alone in this room, I was not alone. So much love and support I have. I'm so blessed. Friends in Australia were so welcoming, more than I ever expected. And I'm so grateful for the love and support that I have, which has made this journey, this change, this fresh start possible. Without that love and support, I think it would have been a whole lot more difficult. So let me talk about the range of different emotions, because it's quite extreme, from the excitement of where I'm heading, even though I don't really know exactly what that's going to look like, which of course brings a lot of fear, the fear of and uncertainty about really not knowing what the future holds. So that's the first contradictory mix, excitement and fear. Then, although this is my choice, yes, it was my decision to leave South Africa and come to Australia, it doesn't mean it's easy. It's sad and difficult to have left my whole life behind. I can't talk about it now because I'll cry, and I don't really want to do that. But I know that as I get back out in the world and I'm with people again, and I'm so lucky to be going to my wonderful brother and sister-in-law who have been amazing. As I go forward, it will become easier to say goodbye and let go to so much. Big sigh. One thing I've learned, especially the past couple of years, what with cancer and my major surgery last year, and COVID of course, is to trust the process. Trust the process of life, the universe, God, and trust that what is meant to be will come my way. Not though that I need to sit back and wait. Work on what I want. Put myself out there and be ready to grasp the opportunities that come my way. And I've really reflected on that and feel that I am in the right place right now. I feel it in my heart, in my soul, not always in my head. Then of course there's this whole idea of the global village. It's wonderful, and I've experienced it fully in the last 2 weeks. Because even though I've been here alone in my room, I have certainly not been alone. As a friend said to me the other day, you haven't really gone. You're still here. You're everywhere really, and we're everywhere in a strange kind of way. We're almost there with you. It's definitely helped to be able to connect through technology to all my special people and to see you as well. So not just hear your voices, read your text messages, but to see people on the screen is quite incredible. Yes, we've been doing it all through COVID, we've been working online, but being here on my own, totally in complete isolation, has brought a whole new level of understanding for me to this concept of the global village and being able to connect with anyone, anytime I need them. Everyone is actually here with me. Of course, I do just need to check the time zones before I make that video call. Food has been a bit tricky for me. Those of you who know me well know that it's a struggle. Since my operation last year, eating is a challenge. The food here is fantastic if you have a normal digestive system. I'm really looking forward to being able to go into a supermarket and buy a butternut, my staple diet, and just eat a bowl of steamed butternut. I did ask the hotel to send some up for me once or twice, but they haven't always had it available. So my tummy is a little tender, but I have made it through. I have to say that the Australian government and health department here in Queensland have been really good. Quite apart from locking me in my room. Yes, the key card lets you in once and you aren't allowed out again. Well, if you go out, you won't get back in. But they're rules for a reason. They've chosen to do that. I've chosen to be here, so I will abide by their rules. The staff have been so friendly. Regular phone calls to check up a few COVID tests. I'm due for another one today. But generally so helpful, so friendly, so kind and caring. And that definitely makes a difference. I've been having fun, actually, reintegrating, as it were, into the Australian culture. Watching the TV presenters on the news, and as I talked to Michelle, my sister-in-law, about this the other day, and she got it immediately. They just couldn't possibly be South African. Not the black-white thing, but South Africans dress differently, hold themselves differently, just are quite different. South Africans would get it. Not just that though, the whole sense of the content of what's shown on TV. I think looking out my window and just seeing the traffic and the street, how it looks, just raises an awareness that yes, I am now in a different place. And this world is different to the world that I've left behind. And there's a reason for that. And that's why actually I'm not in South Africa anymore. My choice to leave was fundamentally about my body couldn't handle the stress of living in that environment anymore. And as Michelle said to me, you're in a civilized country now. I'm looking forward to the rest of this week, once I leave quarantine, being in Perth for a few days with John and Michelle and exploring and experiencing what this civilized country has to offer me.